All right, so here's the first play for the Niners that doesn't really work for them the way they were hoping, right? So we get jet action coming this way. They hand it off to Debo Samuel. He ends up running outside. They don't really get much of an opportunity here. A couple interesting points. First is they are still trying to create a lateral stretch on the defense, right? That jet is obviously related to outside zone. A lot of outside zone teams will use the jet action, and they'll use it in a couple different ways. In this case, one, they are still creating that lateral stretch. They're trying to force defenses to play sideline to sideline. It fits the same philosophy. But two, they're doing it from an influence perspective, meaning if you watch the offensive line here from the end zone, as they go run this jet play, right, the offensive line is blocking that way initially, right? They're actually leaving this guy unblocked, and they're just trusting that the influence of the tackle stepping down is going to prevent him from being able to make the tackle on the jet guy, which is true. That's exactly what happens. They know, so far as we've seen in this game, that they're going to step down and try to chase that zone action a little bit, and they're going to try to play flat to the line of scrimmage. They're not going to get up the field, which means if they take the tackle and step him down, well, the jet will be outside of the defensive end before he can even get there, right? That's the first thing. The second thing you notice that the offensive line, after stepping inside, looks to take angles to cut people off. You can see he's waiting for pursuit coming this way, right? It's also playing off initially what's meant to look like a wide zone action, even if it's not truly looking like wide zone. If you get everyone initially stepping that way and leaving and he's going that way, you are hoping that the defense is getting held. Now, this is one of the instances where the Niners are not running to good numbers. They got a free guy in the hole, and he's not going to get influenced. They got a safety coming down who's going to come down and help make this play. They're really trying to block four with two. Looking at it from the wide again, we can see the defense rotates to this, right? He's down, he is wide enough to go play. Like they've got hats to the ball here. So this is the first play that schematically didn't work for the 49ers in this game. We saw all of their plays so far to this point realistically work. You had the fumble by McCaffrey, but scheme-wise, the X's and O's to that play work. This is the first one there where they're playing to a bad look. And sometimes when you call those jet actions, it's a little harder to fix that problem, right? If you're running a jet action, you can't change the play now. Once you see the rock and roll, once you see him coming down, the defense rotating down, we call that rocking, rolling, and down, whatever you want to call it. You can't change the play at that point. So you lose a little bit of your pre-snap toolbox when you call a predetermined jet motion where you're handing it off or something. You don't necessarily have that tool in your toolbox anymore. This is the first one they get to a bad look.